Okay, this is UAP. You know, there's been a lot of talk of disclosure. We just had the egg video, the egg alien video come out. And with Trump's presidency, there is something that I think people are missing about the whole disclosure idea. And just earlier, before this video was put together, Trump declassified the RFK, JFK, and MLK files. I'm going to go over that in this video. This video is about Trump and disclosure and how he wanted to do disclosure in his last term, but was discouraged to do so, according to Jaime Shed, who is there in the picture with the green alien. So let's get started on this presentation. It's Trump and disclosure. There are new realities facing the UAP issue with Trump taking over the White House. Now, let's just go back to get a perspective and a frame of mind. Colonel Corso, to the NIH alien that he met at Area 51, which was down by a pencil radar. Remember, he met him in a cave, and he drove out to the site, and there was a craft, and in a cave there was a alien. Okay, and Corso, according to his book, After Roswell, he asked the alien, "Are you friend or foe?" And the alien said, "Neither." I think we got to pay attention to that. If we as Earthlings discover another planet, are we going to be friend or foe, or are we going to look at it through our own lens of what advantage will it be to us to take on this partnership or expose ourselves to this planet and so forth? Anyway, the next question Corso asked was, "What have you got for me?" And the alien said, "A new world if you can take it." And that's like a double entendre. We don't know exactly what that means, but certainly um, the alien was talking about change. So I forget the poet that said it, but the quote is, "When somebody tells you who they are, believe them." And I think this is an accurate assessment of the whole disclosure uh, situation. Uh, the alien or a non-human intelligent self-interest is behind any disclosure. Any benefit to humans will be secondary. So, according to Jaime Shed, and we'll get into this later, the aliens were in control the last time Trump wanted to do this. Now, everybody's talking nuts and bolts and crafts and tic tacs. Okay, I just want to go over a few, and I regard these as truths, boilerplate with the UAP phenomenon. Uh, a president was assassinated because of UFOs. That's JFK. You can see my video on this. JFK was going to do disclosure, and I do believe that is the main reason he was killed. And I also believe that is the reason LBJ went and did away with Forrestal. Well, he was the last person to see Forrestal alive. Forrestal was Harry Truman's Secretary of Defense, I believe, or head of joint. Well, anyway, it was Magic 12. And he was going to do disclosure, and they threw him out a window. A president was impeached because of this. Nixon was pushing hard on the UFO issue. And now, according to some research I've done, the Watergate break-in, the goal of that break-in was to recover the Magic 12 burn memo, which cited a wet solution for Lancer, which means an assassination of Lancer, who was Kennedy. And this was based on UFO Disclosure. Again, you can see my video on this. Nixon is the one who okayed the burning of all that information regarding MJ12 and so forth. And according to some of the research I've done, there's some different opinions on this. I think this is pretty close to the truth. That Lancer memo, which is burned around the edges, was snatched from the fire and pulled away. Nixon's people, or the deep state, I guess you could say, felt that this would tie, that the Democrats had it and they were going to use it against Nixon, and they were going to expose it during the convention and so forth. And that was the reason for Watergate and for the impeachment of Nixon. This was all a setup. This was a coup d'etat, getting rid of Nixon. And I mentioned Forrestal. You can see my video on JFK. It includes a section on Forrestal, and Forrestal was a tragic figure. Interesting, Dr. Michael Salla, last person to see Forrestal alive, according to the logs at the hospital, was Lyndon Baines Johnson, who is according to this research, a deep state actor, MJ12 operative. So, those are a few of the things that have happened because of UFOs. I mean, there's some history, some dark, deep history here. So, having disclosure is going to involve talking about all this or releasing information leading to this. Trillions of dollars per year were secretly spent on UAP secrecy, reverse engineering, craft retrieval, taxpayer dollars, over 70 years. And you can look at the speech Rumsfeld gave the day before the 9/11 tragedy. There's been a massive amount of taxpayer dollars that have gone unaccounted related to this issue. And there's many more than this, but then numerous UFO researchers, witnesses, and whistleblowers have been killed because of this. So, I mean, there are murders, assassinations, theft of tax dollars, unaccountable spending of trillions of tax dollars. I mean, there is a lot more to disclosure than, seeing the inside of a Tic Tac. Okay. I think actually the nuts and bolts of the whole UAP thing are so far down the list for me, as well as recounting old UAP history. I mean, we need new information, new takes, new theories on what's going on. New information based on research that hasn't been looked at in a certain way. And I've been trying to do that with my channel. Again, part of disclosure. Military pilots have been killed pursuing UFOs, many of them. Hundreds, some people say. And per Corso, day after Roswell, private industry has made millions off UFO tech that U.S. taxpayers paid for. Again, through unaccountable funds. And these developments have all gone to, McDonnell Douglas. I have, again, look at my catalog of videos. I have a money trail video that'll go through all these companies. Trillions have been spent keeping this topic secret, both from the public and from the aliens themselves. All these underground facilities, all of the secret labs, and I mean, the amounts of money that have been spent, prototypes, you name it. I mean, the public relations, Operation Mockingbird, all of the Blue Book, all of the disinformation programs, all of the, on and on and on, the 20, 50 layer CIA operations to confuse researchers. I mean, again, 70 years this spending has been going on. Also, I think it's pretty well accepted now. There's been what I define as a criminal collaboration with these aliens. Certainly human trafficking, abductions. Pilates does the Lost in the Woods series about people going missing. Um, I think we can deduce that since they are taking, you know, genetic material from men and women in these abductions, that cloning is going on of humans. Okay. And I think, well, where has this humanity ended up? Is there an intergalactic slave trade? Some of the research I have done has indicated that slavery is big, big. Okay. And also that human females are highly prized throughout the galaxy. Okay. In any case, bargains were made with non-human intelligence to get technology. Um, this meeting with Eisenhower and the abduction agreement to take a limited number of people for research purposes. These are all crimes against humanity. And the fact that they were allowed to go on after these parameters of these agreements were violated and so on. So there's a whole sticky, gooey mess behind disclosure. It's not, again, it's not seeing the inside of a Tic Tac, okay? Which is probably piloted by AI, okay? Now we're going to get to Trump and aliens and non-human intelligence. Now that's Haim Shed. He is the Werner von Braun of Israel. He headed up their army space program. He developed their satellite program. He's done it all. Highly decorated combat veteran, super genius. Okay, he is in his mid to late 80s. I believe he's still alive. This is a book he wrote. Now, there's some say that there was an interview with the equivalent in the New York Times in Israel, but I do believe the initial source of this information that led to the questions by that reporter was this book. This book was published in Hebrew only and in Israel only. You can't, if you try to buy a copy of this book, I've tried to buy it, very hard to find. I could not find one. However, there are about, I don't know, it's 12 pages or so. I have done a video on this, see my video catalog in here, where he talks about non-human intelligence. And this is like a spontaneous utterance. It's, would be accepted in court as true, right? And you're going to understand, he didn't write this book to do alien disclosure. This book is a technical book. It covers the space program and defense and all this stuff. This is just a very small, 1%, 10% of the pages in this book are devoted to this topic. And again, this was just kind of off the cuff remarks made by Haim Shed. And this was in Hebrew. This book was not translated. It was not published in other language. They thought they could tamp it down. Now, Haim said that the first term Trump, which 2017-ish, worked with friendly non-human intelligence, the Galactic Earth Alliance. That would be the aliens that are supposedly living here on Earth. That would include the Nordics, likely. They're Yamiche, tall, human-looking aliens. Valiant Thor type aliens. There's a number of different alien types, tall whites and so forth, and different types of grays supposedly living in underground bases. There are definitely reptilians. I hate to say this, but I have interviewed people, and I think there's different gradients of reptilians from really bad to not so bad. And there are shape shifting reptilians in the general population. And if you think about, the chameleon and how it can change its spots, well, do the math. Anyway, he was working with this Earth-based galactic council, and Trump wanted to do full disclosure and monetize the technology. But the non-human intelligence said it was too soon, that the Earth people were not ready, Earthlings were not ready for the information. So they shelved it in 2017, and Trump went along with it. Again, this is a spontaneous utterance by Heimished. I don't see why he would have any reason to lie. And if he wanted to make money off this, he certainly wouldn't have done it this way. I do believe this is a true statement, or that he believes it's true. I'm not going to qualify it. I think it's true. And I think Trump knows more than he's always very cagey when he starts talking about aliens and UFOs and stuff. Because I know a lot, I know a few things, I think Heimished, according to Heimished, the Israelis and the Americans together are working with this Earth-based coalition of aliens. And, there's undersea locations where the Nordics prefer to live, the reptilians prefer underground, and the Greys prefer mountain ranges. Okay? It's according to some of the experts in the field. So Trump wanted to already do disclosure. He wanted to do it years ago. He was stymied. Now, during the second run of the presidency, Trump faced two really suspicious attempts on his life. One shot missed, hit his ear. The other guy was a crazy guy that ended up on the edge of a golf course waiting for him for 2 days. So both of these attackers, now the kid that shot him in the ear supposedly had no internet history on any of his devices. A 21-year-old. I find that very hard to believe. Absolutely no history, no internet history. That is BS. Okay. This other guy, he looks like an MK Ultra, operator. You look at what has been released on his background, and if you notice, no one's talking about it anymore. Both of these guys are very suspicious. And you got to remember what I said earlier. Kennedy was assassinated because of this. Okay? Now, let's talk about RFK Jr. has joined forces with Trump. He says he knows who killed his father. His father, JFK, I have JFL, JFK and RFK, according to Corso, were both briefed on aliens. They knew everything. Okay? And Corso absolutely states this, absolutely clearly. And this can be a reason for both of their assassinations. I think it's a key factor. I think, and JFK was just, and again, see my video on this, was just on the verge of coming out with all this and joining forces with the Russian planetary defense or whatever. And RFK was right beside him. And you know what? I think they were both killed for this reason. I have a video, and I'm talking about new aspects of research. Uh, I, I have a video in my catalog on this. I believe JFK with Corso and others, and you can see this video, visited Area 51 shortly before JFK was killed in Texas. I think that was in 63, when no one knew anything about Area 51. They didn't even know it. There is circumstantial evidence that is overwhelming for this. Overwhelming. See my video. Um, so uh, these assassination attempts on would-be presidents, sitting presidents, presidential candidates. This is de rigueur for UAP retribution for disclosure. And you can look at after JFK died. Just recently I saw this. There's a speech has surfaced where he talks a lot about potential aliens and so forth. You can look at his UN speech he gave shortly before he died, again talking about aliens. I mean, this is, I do believe that Trump was targeted for these same reasons. And I think maybe this whole effort to keep him out of office might have to do with this, because they know he wants to do disclosure, or wanted to do disclosure. Now you got to go down the rabbit hole on the deep state and the black hats and the white hats. God bless Carrie Cassidy. You think she's over the edge, but a lot of stuff she says ends up being true. But anyway, um, the black hat deep state is working with one faction of the aliens, and this would be the human trafficking greys, who may be automatons being controlled by AI or controlled by a race of reptilians. We don't really know. But anyway, the deep state, the black hats in the deep states are working with this group. And these non-human intelligence do not want disclosure. They want to maintain their human trafficking programs and their biological programs. They don't want anyone bothering with them. Okay? They don't want anyone knowing that. They want secrecy. Okay? Also, this gets over the edge, and you can see my videos on David Jacobs regarding this. These aliens, this non-human intelligence, may have exerted mind control on some key individuals in leadership roles to accomplish this. Okay? There may be people, running who knows what, generals, chiefs of staff, whatever, in leadership roles, DIA, whatever, who are being abducted and are being programmed by the Greys. And David Jacobs has done extensive work on this. And I would add, when they say this programming takes place, they say these aliens are face-to-face, close contact with these individuals, and their eyes meet and so forth. Well, it's been said that there's a mechanical device, that the Greys are a biomechanical cloned entity, and they have machinery in their head, and that it's not all psi on this. I believe there has been research, and I have it in my research. I'll see if I can dig it up. I don't know. You can look it up for yourself. There have been experiments by humans on humans using magnetic fields influencing the brain that can produce results like this. Obviously, they're more sophisticated. So this is not that woo. Okay, believe me, this is entirely possible that these individuals. I think it's true that there are individuals that are they're unknowingly automatons. I mean, David Jacobs has worked with these people. They don't know why they do what they do. They just act automatically. Okay. All right. So the assassins who recently went after Trump during the campaign may also be a subject of black hat, non-human abductions, and mind control. You say MK Ultra, um, you know, do you need MK Ultra when you have, you know, Grays that can do this? And MK Ultra was started as a Nazi program, and according to my research, Hitler tasked Goebbels with developing soldiers that the reptilians that Hitler was working with, I know this is woo, so that they could not do this mind control on his soldiers. That was the purpose of MK Ultra. Okay. Anyway, so we may have actors, you know, forget about bad humans. I mean, we may have automatons. This has been going on for years and years. These individuals could be deeply ingrained in the government. We're talking deep state, deep NHI state. You know, this is entirely possible. And I'm talking about organized opposition to Trump's disclosure. So, just going to start closing this out. I think everybody's looking to, um, you know, the military. I don't know who they're looking to for disclosure. I don't know why we need permission to believe this, because I think there's enough evidence to believe all this, but everybody wants disclosure. I think for the next 4 years, there's only one person that's going to be able to execute disclosure, and that's Trump. And he is the one that's going to have to make the decision. As I say here, NIH has been involved in human leadership manipulation for over 70 years. They've been doing this. They have hybrids and hybrids and, undetectable agents that could be operating as humans, and so on and so forth. But so the deck is stacked against this. Trump will have to be the one to do disclosure. The topic has put his life at risk. I do believe the assassination attempts were just like with Kennedy and RFK, based on this topic. And since he's had 2 attempts on his life, just as the whistleblowers, you have to go public to remain safe. So the Earth-based Galactic Council may not have a say with Trump this go around. I think if there's another attempt on Trump's life, this is going to prompt action on disclosure. He may already have made the decision to do it without even having, third time's a charm. What is he going to wait for? And he's released the JFK and RFK files. This is a backdoor disclosure if they release everything. Okay. It's not even hard to find this breadcrumb trail. So anyway, maybe Trump's laying the groundwork right now with Musk. Because I'll tell you, Musk and Larry Ellison are, and you can see my videos on UAP funding, they're in there, okay? And neither one of them are talking, and Musk says, I have seen no evidence. He knows how to toe the line. Musk does. He's a shrewd guy. But anyway, I just wanted to bring this up because I think this is an aspect, connecting these dots, that I don't think a lot of people are seeing in this scenario. And everybody's blinded by the egg video and the Tic Tac video and Jeremy Corbell, and and these guys are great, but getting past all this is the real meat of this. And I don't see a lot of people doing research on this these days. Anyway, I hope you liked the video. I do believe this is the end of it, so thanks for watching. Um, Again, disclosure is more than drones and nuts and bolts. Reptilian shapeshifters are among us, according to my interviews with witnesses, and they are indistinguishable from humans. Okay, so that's just one truth that I think you have to get your mind around. My research has shown UFO time travel exists. Okay, this is true. Humans have developed it in the future, and aliens have stolen the technology from the humans, and a lot of this is time travel from different times. And when they say the aliens existed, they were back in Egypt. Well, they were visiting from the future, so you have to get your mind around time travel and how this all works out in different timelines and so forth. But reptilians, time travel, abductions, hybrids, hybrids, greys, and human clones. I'm sure human clones are in there, although the Jacobs doesn't specifically talk about this, but um, there are other 20 and back witnesses and stuff that talk about human slavery and off-world and so forth. But you have to get your mind around this too. This also exists, and this mind control of humans by these biomechanical greys. Understand they have been tamped down, but who knows, what the real nature of this is. Okay, so all of these topics and crimes against humanity, betrayal of the human species, of the U.S. Republic, and all the humans harmed or killed would also be disclosed. Can you imagine, uh, how many people are involved in this, wittingly or unwittingly, and how many, you know, how many species betrayals have gone on? Who are these people that have, betrayed the human species, our own people? Okay. Anyway, is the UFO community prepared for this revelation? Uh, and there's another one here. One possibility: we may have just been dealing with advanced non-human artificial intelligence all this time. These just may be uh, AI representatives of these races. These may not even, AI may be controlling all this program. I had said in my some of my Jacobs and the time travel also, it appears as though some of this is exhibits AI learning. I mean, the human hybrid program the Greys did, the repetition, the iterations, this is all like AI learning, machine learning. So anyway, at UAP-X, this is UAP. I hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching, guys. And watch what Trump does. Watch the skies. Let's see what's going on here. Very interesting time. I did a video as well. Last thing I'm going to say, 2025 has been mentioned in many abduction scenarios and other points in time about being a critical year. And that's where we are. Okay, thanks for watching.